Single motherhood is destroying lives. It's a sad thing, but it's the honest to goodness truth. You might be saying, well, why am I making this video? Why are you posting this video here? I mean, guys, if you look at the state of Western society, Gen Alpha, for example, they are a feral group of people. This is the generation that comes after Gen Z, right? So Gen Alpha comes after Gen Z. Gen Z are people born 1997 through 2012. The oldest members of Gen Z right now are 27. Gen Alpha, realistically, are people born from 2013 through evidently 2025. They're saying that that's the end of it. Usually a generation is 15 years, although they can be longer and evidently shorter, as the boomers were 18 years, 1946 through 1946 through 1964. Well, guys, now check this out. You look at what's happening, and we're seeing the consequences of single mother households and when fathers are not involved in the lives of their children. One of the series that really highlights this, what happens when you do not have enough influence in the life of your child, or you don't, or they don't have enough guidance. Well, we are, for example, if the mother is too active and the father is not active enough, we can see that with Dragon Ball, specifically Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. So a lot of people give me flack about this because I talk about Goku being one of the worst fathers in anime and manga history, and he absolutely is. Some people say, well, he was not alive part of the time. He got murked, and then he came back, and then he was around for a while, and then he went away, and he fought Frieza, and then he was gone for a while because he was trying to get back after fighting Frieza, and then after that he got murked again, and he was gone for like 7 years, and people make excuses for it, but what people don't understand is that Goku never wanted to be there. Whenever he was actually alive, all he was doing was fighting. And as soon as Piccolo came around, he didn't want to raise his son anymore. Okay? He was actively off fighting. This is the type of person that Goku was. In the OAV, there was an OAV that came out after Dragon Ball Z ended. Chi-Chi and Bulma literally talked about the fact that Goku is such a bad father, and Chi-Chi admitted that Vegeta was more desirable as a husband than Goku, because Goku is never around. This took place all the way back in the 1990s. Okay, Dragon Ball Z actually ended in the 90s. It's a pretty old show, even though it has amazing animation and everything. This is an old show. It's an old show. It's an old manga, and and then fast forward to Dragon Ball Super, and you have a conversation between Vegeta and Goku, and Goku basically and says that he wasn't around to raise Gotenks. He wasn't around when any like I think or like when either of them were born. Like, this is the kind of person that Goku is, and Vegeta told him, he's like, "You're a terrible father." Now, when what's his name? Gohan had a kid. What did Gohan do? Gohan stopped raising his kid, just like his good for nothing dad Goku. So basically, Gohan was brought up by Piccolo, stepdad Piccolo, but it never completely filled in the entire gap. The fact that Goku was just not around, even when Goku had the opportunity to be around, Goku took off. Thankfully, Piccolo was there, and as a result of Piccolo being active in Gohan's life, Gohan, grew up to be a decent person. But the problem is that Gohan slacked off with things like his training because, Bulma, Chi-Chi, she destroyed him. And he ended up becoming extremely irresponsible, not wanting to raise his kid, not wanting to be active in the life of his kid, and basically he just wants to stay around messing around with his books. He loves to study. Gohan loves studying. Okay, this is something Akira Toriyama pointed out. That's the reason why he had to bring Goku back, because originally the plan was for Gohan to take over as the protector of Earth, but then Akira Toriyama realized that Gohan wasn't capable of this because Gohan just wants to study and do research. All right, he's not equipped for this type of thing. Beast Gohan, he will always be a beast, but he does not have that passion and that drive to keep on being the best version of himself the way Goku does. All right. And a lot of that is has to do with the fact that Chi Chi screwed him up because he didn't have a proper father around. But his own father, Goku, is not a good dude. Yes, he's a protector of Earth and all this other stuff, but Goku is not really protecting Earth because he cares about Earth so much. He's doing it because if Goku really cared about Earth, he wouldn't put Earth in danger so many times. He would, like, when he's fighting a villain, he wouldn't show them any mercy. He wouldn't play around. You're right. He wouldn't put the universes at risk just so that he could fight. This is Goku. Goku literally put all of existence at risk, multiple universes at risk, just so he could fight strong people. All right, that's the basis for the for that for the tournament that we had years ago. Okay, where all the universes fought one another. It's crazy. And then you're like, oh, okay, Angry, you're going too far. You're going too far. Am I really? So, if we look at the Dragon Ball Super manga, this is the last manga that came out prior to the passing of Akira Toriyama. So, Goku basically returns to Earth with Whis. No, not with Whis. He returns to Earth with Vegeta and I believe it's Vegeta and some others, right? But the thing is, it's kind of strange. It's really crazy what happens. He goes to Piccolo and he says, "What's up, Piccolo? It's been a while. The entire group, why are they here?" So he says, "You need to learn when you're beat." Okay, and he looks at that's the Red Rim of the army, whatever. So they take off. They say, "Pardon us." Anyway, so Piccolo has a new form, like Orange Piccolo or whatever. Anyway, Goku goes, "It's true. I'm looking at a whole new Piccolo." He says, "You mind giving me a taste of your new power?" So Piccolo has a new transformation. And Piccolo says, "I can't. I'm scheduled to pick Pan up, that's Gohan's daughter, from school within. I'm scheduled to pick Pan up from school with Gohan." And then Goku says, "Pan?" He doesn't know who Pan is. And everyone is looking shocked. Vegeta looks shocked. Goten looks shocked. Gohan looks Goten, Gohan, everyone looks shocked. Look at Vegeta lashing out. This is the second time Vegeta has lashed out in Dragon Ball Super at Goku for being such a terrible father. He says, "You're an utter disgrace. She's your own grandchild." Goku says, "Huh? Right, of course she is." Piccolo is infuriated and says, "You're coming with us to make up for that." All right? He says, "Sure, happy to." So anyway, we jump over here to the next frame, and you can see that they're at the school right now. Piccolo and Gohan are there to pick up Pan, and the teacher is there. And of course, the teacher is well aware that Gohan is a bad father because I'll point this out. I'll point this out very clearly. So Pan, she looks over, and by the way, she was trained by Piccolo, and the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super movie, just so you know, is literally about Gohan being a bad father and Piccolo being pissed off with Gohan because he doesn't want to raise Pan and neglecting Pan. And by the way, Fidel is Fidel, Gohan's wife. She's also allowing Piccolo to raise Pan, pick her up. They're rich. Pick her up from school, train her. They didn't even care that she ended up getting kidnapped at one point. Of course, Piccolo was keeping track of it, but none of these people were aware of it. Like this is the results of single motherhood and when you have an absent father. So in the frames you can see Pan is like, "Who's that right there?" She looks over there and she says, "Who's that?" She says, and Gohan basically says, oh, that's Grandpa Goku. So Pan gets pissed off, realizing that he has not been around in ages, and immediately moves at super speed and goes at him, right? So now look at the final frame. And by the way, this is an interesting frame because Akira Toriyama actually drew the last frame. That's this last frame. So everybody's taking off and they all fly off, right? And holy cow, I just realized that Pan is flying because she hadn't learned how to fly. And Piccolo and I guess Gohan is shocked that Pan just flew. So Piccolo stops, looks back, and says bye to the teacher, waves bye to the teacher, who knows that Piccolo is basically the protector of Pan because he's basically the stepdad. Just like he was the stepdad with Gohan, he is now the stepdad, the step grandpa with Pan. And this kind of goes back to raise your children right, or you'll have to raise your grandchildren. This is some sad, sad stuff. This is really, really sad. And this is what happens when you do not have a good father in your life, a father in your life that will be there for you, that will stand by you. You know, it's an unfortunate reality, but it is a reality that we live in. And I wanted you to see that. Single motherhood destroys life, destroys lives. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, let me know what you think about everything we discussed here. Let me know what you think about everything we discussed in the comments. I want to know your thoughts on this. If you agree with what I said, and that you agree that Goku is a terrible father. Goku is a terrible father. Shout out to Piccolo, for being a step-up dad. I wouldn't do it, but shout out to Piccolo regardless. Greatest step-up dad ever. Greatest step-up dad ever. Anyway, that's all I have. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we'll talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, man, walking away. And cheers.